What if I told you the 2026 FIFA World Cup might not feel like the World Cup you grew up watching? Not because football changed, not because the rules changed, but because the entire experience of the tournament is changing. More teams, more matches, more countries, more chaos. And for the first time ever, the World Cup is becoming something much bigger than the version most fans know. So, is this actually making football better? Or are we about to watch a completely different tournament? Let's explain. For decades, the World Cup followed a pretty simple formula. 32 teams, small groups, quick elimination, you lose too many games, you go home. Simple. That format became football tradition. People knew how it worked even if they never read the rules. But World Cup 2026 decided to press the giant update button. Instead of 32 teams, now there will be 48. That sounds like just 16 more teams. It isn't. Because once you add teams, everything changes. Groups change. Scheduling changes. Qualification changes. Even the feeling of the tournament changes. And here's where it gets interesting. Most fans think more teams means lower quality. In theory, that makes sense. More teams means more underdogs, more countries that normally never qualify, but in practice, that might create more moments people actually remember. Think about it, every World Cup has that one country nobody expected, that one upset, that one commentator screaming like reality broke. Now imagine more countries getting that chance. That's the idea, but the biggest change isn't even the extra teams. It's the number of matches. Previous World Cups had 64 matches. World Cup 2026, read that again, 104. That's not a small increase. That's almost turning the tournament into a month-long football universe. More games means more stories, more heroes, more drama, but also more pressure on players. Because while fans are thinking more football, players are thinking another game. And if you've ever played football for 2 hours and walked like a retired uncle afterward, you know the type. Now let's talk about something most casual fans never think about: qualification. This change completely reshapes who gets into the tournament. Before, getting a World Cup spot felt like trying to enter an exclusive club. Some continents had very limited places, good teams stayed home. Now there are more spots available, which means countries that usually watch the World Cup might actually play in it. That changes everything. Entire nations suddenly believe qualification is possible. Fans care earlier. Qualifiers become more exciting. And football grows in places where it normally disappears after qualifiers. Sounds amazing, but there's another side. If more teams qualify, does qualification become less special? This sounds simple. It isn't, because World Cups have always balanced two things: exclusivity and global inclusion. Too exclusive, millions feel left out. Too open, people say the tournament loses prestige. World Cup 2026 is basically FIFA testing where that balance really is. And then there's hosting. Another huge difference: instead of one host country, this World Cup spreads across multiple countries, which means travel changes, atmosphere changes, logistics change. Fans may experience completely different environments depending on where matches happen. One day feels like one country. Next day feels completely different. That has never happened on this scale before. So, yes, the World Cup will still have goals, still have heartbreak, still have impossible moments, but the feeling, that might be new, and maybe that's the point. Every generation thinks their version of football is the normal one, until the next version arrives. World Cup 2026 isn't trying to copy the past. It's trying to become something bigger. Whether fans love it or spend the whole month saying the old format was better, we're about to find out, because once the first whistle blows, there's no going back. And years from now, we might look at 2026 and say that was the tournament that changed the World Cup forever. If you want football explained simply, quickly, and without the confusing parts, subscribe. Because football gets way more interesting once you understand how it actually works.